Alrighty, well, a lot of you knew about this room, and it's quite good, but I've sort of continued on, and yeah, we're going to do a couple of things with all this sink business, and I realised that if we're going to start restacking stuff that's on the ground, maybe I should paint this before I restack all this stuff that I took off the top back onto the top. And so I done just this one yesterday, and then I sort of, done a few other bits and bobs, and then sort of said, well, hang on, we've got to continue on. And basically today I gave everything 2 coats. I've still got to play around with the edges a little bit, as you might be able to see. There's a lot of these things where, especially up in some of these top ones, where she sort of, it's meant to be all white, and it's sort of overlapped as I've come up with the paintbrush while I've been doing this. Long and short of it is all of this business here is going to have to move under here. We went through a big circus on getting this sink in here, and the brackets are wrong, and I was going to have to cut into the bricks in here, so part of the mount would be part way through the bricks, and it's still going to end up as just a bloody circus. But long and short of it is, it's not the best way I braced it, but somehow, I don't know how, I marked it all out and it ended up bloody a centimetre out. So, but it all sort of sits all right. It's it there. Then I was going to mount it in here, and I was going to have a minimal space to get in here, and I realised with a bit of thought, I brought my father in, and we was looking at it all that, and then I'm going to go, we're going to cut it into this plumbing here then, and then I realised that's 40 mil, and everything else I got is 50 mil. Quite honestly, I think it's going to have its own separate line and be a lot lower. In fact, probably as low as this table, but usually that's my little chopping board there. And then I have like my drip tray thing here. And I realise, you know what, this just becomes a junk clutter under here. So what I'm going to do is move this under there. And that still gives me plenty of room to access my chopping board. And I can throw my onions and my paper plates or whatever else here. My drip tray thing is going to be here, most of which I can still access anyway, and so I move this across here, and then the sink can end up sort of basically right about here. And then I run the pipe along the wall. I'll get rid of this because that's a failed gas system. And I'll go straight through there, straight out, and probably through all this here. But anyway, I'm sort of... my father said, all this stuff with I sort of said, like, some of these, I know some of these are studs, and then some of them I don't really know, like this is a stud here, you can see the screws, that's a stud there, but there's somewhere, like, this is just literally me attaching the plywood to the plywood, and so it's not actually got a stud behind it. And he said, you know what, that old saw that I had sitting around, that homemade thing that my grandfather's brother made, we could just get the stand off of that and stick it under this. And I said, bloody beauty. And I said, well, put some little tabs on it so I can actually screw it to the floor or something, just so we don't move it and then wreck the piping. And I can just screw it to the floor, and that'll be that. So anyway, that's I've still got to get him over here to move all this around. I think we're going to be interrupted by shearing sheep in 2 days' time, so we might work it out after we've dealt with sheep. But something I want to show you quite quickly is if I put some very offensive words up on this wall. This is the magic of this wash and wear. And I put something up that Black Kitty will not like. This wash and wear is brilliant stuff. It's also antibacterial, anti-mold, antifungal. And once you're done, you just wipe everything clean like that. And you get a good coat of this stuff. It's brilliant. I didn't realise, I am basically looking at at a giant bloody blackboard, and I can just go ahead and wipe things off, even if my dog looks like a friggin' pig. It's incredible. And that's been sitting in the tin 5 years and it's still good. So there you go.